All right, hello everyone. Video number 2 for me. Hi, this is Jill. Welcome. First and foremost, I want to say to the students that I'm not seeing right now how very much I miss you. I hope that all of us are keeping up with a yoga practice, but more importantly, a breath practice. So today we're going to incorporate a little movement, first a little breath work, then a little movement, then a little yin yoga, settle up with some breath work, shavasana, cool. So that being said, I am not going to be mirroring because I don't think I have to in a video, but anyway, so I want you to find a comfortable seated position. That may for you be cross-legged. My blanket is a little too low today, so I'm going to double it up. I want to try to, if you're seated in hero's pose, hips to heels, or a cross-legged position, such as I am, we want to try and get our hips higher than our knees, right? It's just more comfortable for your spine. That way we're not slouching as we so often do, right? Please keep in mind, those of us that aren't comfortable in a cross-legged or hero's pose, you can sit on a chair with your feet firmly planted on the ground, hip width distance apart, and just settle in to a neutral spine. So for now, I just want you to close your eyes. We're not going to try and make anything in particular happen with our breath at this moment. We're just going to see what our breath is doing. So as you are starting to take those breaths in and out, just notice. Notice the temperature of your breath. Notice the quality. Notice as you sit and breathe where you might feel a little restricted. You know, most of us use, I don't want to start with a percentage, but most of us do not use our lung capacity, and we for sure don't use our diaphragm capacity. So we want to strengthen our ability to breathe. If any of you are in curiosity of breath work, I highly recommend. I just watched an amazing YouTube video from Dr. John Douillard. He resides in Boulder. He's an Ayurvedic practitioner. Douillard is spelled Douillard, and he just not too long ago released about a 27-minute long video on just the importance of diaphragmatic breath. It just gives wonderful science behind it and a specific breathing exercise. It's so worth your time to check it out. So anyway, that being said, back to your own breath. Some of us may wish to place a hand on our tummy, just feeling if we can expand the diaphragm. So on the inhale, the tummy should press against your hand as our tummy expands. And on the exhale, our hand and our tummy should ease and relax back in. So we're trying to use all the lobes of our lungs, but really trying to expand the capacity of our diaphragm. You know, as you continue to breathe, I want you to try and picture your diaphragm, right? It's this beautiful dome-shaped muscle, and as you inhale, it should press down and contract, and as you exhale, it should relax and lift back up. So it is massaging all those important internal muscles, it's dropping your heart down, it's increasing your lung capacity. I cannot tell you how important diaphragmatic breathing is. So it's an experiment. I've been doing different breath techniques for a lot of years now, and you notice that every day it's different. Some days breath techniques and breathing processes just come. They just seem to just be there. And other days, especially if the nervous system is like, what is happening? The breath maybe isn't going to work for you as well as it did the day before. Hence the reason, those of you who know me, you know, we call it a yoga practice for a reason. We call it a meditation practice for a reason, a breath practice for a reason. It's not a perfection. It's nothing we're ever going to perfect, but it's a practice that is so crucial to our health and well-being. So just take a few more nice deep breaths, and then we're going to start to move our spine. As you feel your spine in that neutral position, keep your chin in a nice neutral position. Maybe draw the back of your neck slightly back. Drop your shoulders down. Because again, we are usually rounding in, right? And that's really affecting our heart, our digestive system, and our capacity to breathe. So keeping your eyes closed or heavy, we're going to take a gentle twist. Keep your left hand on your left knee. Sweep your right hand behind you. Very gently twist. Now you can always take your left hand over towards your right knee, but what we don't want to do is use that left hand to pull ourselves deeper into a twist. We're just trying to gently twist our spine, not in an aggressive way. Take another deep breath. Let's bring ourselves back to center. And then before we twist to the other side, we're going to come into a forward fold. So take your hands out in front of you and just slowly walk your spine into a forward fold. And as you are rounding forward, I want you to try and breathe into your back body. So breathe into the back of your spine, the back of your lungs, the back of your rib cage, whatever works for you. Let your head relax. Use your hands, please, and walk your spine back upright. If you are by chance seated in a cross-legged position, go ahead and switch out your legs. Opposite leg comes in front, and let's take that twist to the left. Right hand on right knee, sweep your left hand around behind you, gently twist your spine. Let those shoulders relax down, keep the sides of your neck relaxed. You can always take it into a closed twist, taking your right hand over to your left knee. All right, let's come back to our center. Take your hands behind you, squeeze your shoulder blades together a little bit, and lift your heart up towards the ceiling. Come back to your center. We're now going to come onto our hands and knees. So I really prefer to cushion my knees, so using a blanket is key. All right, out onto your hands and knees. So I want you to slowly just stay here for a moment, maybe curl those toes forward. We're going to come into just a brief toe squat. So good for the soles of your feet, right? Slide your hips back for a moment and just feel that stretch in the soles of your feet. If this is too intense for you in any way, shape, or form, just maybe come out of it a little bit and slide back in. Now, you can keep your toes facing forward as you come back onto your hands and knees. And I want you to start to organically move your own spine. So maybe it is that deep inhale coming into our cow pose, into a back bend, and a long exhalation as we round our spine in, coming into our cat pose. But there's other options, right? You can look over one shoulder, draw your hip towards your shoulder, the other side. You can slide out into a seal pose, and that's allowing your hips and your legs to relax, or into an up dog where your lower body is nice and strongly engaged. All we're trying to do here is just move our spine. Really start to expand your breath, so allowing your breath to be your guide, allowing your breath to move your body. So as I cue us through some different things, I really want you to pay attention to how your breath is guiding your body, which means it might not match my cueing. So from here, we're going to come back to a neutral spine and just take a moment, please, and extend and press your left leg long and strong behind you, toes facing down towards the floor or towards your mat, and extending your right arm forward. This is such a great balance challenge. Now, you can let your right toes be flat. Take an inhale, stretch, reach. Long, slow exhale, compress, curl, round in. Do that 2 more times, please. Again, follow the pace of your breath. We're just doing this 3 times. Inhale to reach, and an exhale to curl. After that 3rd time, extend and hold. This is a little balance challenge if you wish to lift and hover the lower half of your right leg off of the floor. All right, let's place our right hand down. Keep your left leg lifted for just a moment. Press back through the sole of your foot. Feel the strength of your leg, the strength of your gluteal muscles. And then touch the ball of your left foot down and gently press back through your heel. Relax your head. We're going to come back onto our hands and knees. Now maybe take a moment to turn your fingers towards your knees. This little stretch there. You can also take the back of one hand down, just manipulating through the wrist joint itself before we switch sides. Now, go ahead and extend your left arm, press your right leg back. Maybe today, this is enough for you. Fantastic. Balance is hard. So 3 times through, take an inhale, exhale, curl in. Do that 2 more times on this side. And after that 3rd time through, keep that extension and then place your left hand down. Keep your right leg pressing back like you're pressing against a wall. Nice and strong muscular engagement. Then go ahead and touch the ball of your right foot down and press back through your heel. This is a nice stretch through the calf muscles and into the Achilles tendon that wraps around the bottom of your heel. All right, come onto your hands and knees, and then I'd like you just to come onto your tummy. So lowering all the way down, we're gonna come into some of my favorite rolling cobras. So tenting your fingers out to the side, elbows bent. Reach your legs back nice and strong behind you. And on an inhale or an exhale, slowly come up. Follow an inhale or exhale down, and do that 4 more times. So you can inhale up and exhale down, or you can switch it up. You can exhale up and inhale down. Do that 2 more times, please, at your pace. And after 4 times through, we're just gonna rest on our tummies. So I personally like to place my head to the side and resting on the backs of my hands. And feel on the inhale your belly press against the floor. On the exhale, it softens and relaxes away. Go ahead, if your head is by chance to one side, please rotate to the other side. All right, so you can rock your hips a little bit or bend your knees and windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Okay, we're gonna come into a brief child's pose. So many variations, right? You can take your knees wide, slide your hips back, and extend your arms out. Or you can draw your knees together, take your arms down by your sides and curl up. If this is too much compression on your knees, you can take a blanket or a bolster behind your thighs. That just opens up the knee joints a little bit and relax down. All right, let's take one more deep breath here, please. And then we're going to come back forward. If you're using a prop, just gently move it out of your way. Now, we're gonna come into down dog. Understand, if this is your position for you, fantastic. I know some people who come into down dog on their wrists, or if you happen to have blocks. Some people just like maybe the softness of blocks to come into down dog. So, toes facing forward. Let's take an inhale, nice strong spine. Exhale, hips go back and up, coming into your downward facing dog. Now, if you're in this posture, you can go ahead and pedal your legs out if you'd like. Maybe lift your heels up and settle them down. And today, for this practice, I'm not going to be lifting my leg up behind me because chances are good I'll hit the shelf that's behind me. But if you'd like, you can inhale, lift your right leg, and then step it through to a low lunge. So you can keep your back knee lifted or touch it down. We're going to take an open twist. So keep your right hand down and twist open to the left. Take a moment to roll out your upper wrist. Just getting some blood flowing to that wrist joint, and then touch your left hand down. Close twist to the right. Again, maybe roll out your wrist here. Okay, let's touch our right hand down. If your back knee isn't down, go ahead and touch it down. and slide your hips back. So this is coming into our half split variation. You can point your foot or flex, point. You can roll it in, roll it out. Just feeling that nice stretch along the back side of your front leg. All right, let's work ourselves back forward to our low lunge. And we're gonna come into just a little bit of movement here. So lift your back knee off. Take an inhale, press your heart forward. Exhale, straighten over your front leg and bow. And do that 2 more times. Inhale back to your low lunge. Exhale, compress, straighten and bow. Do that 1 more time, please. And after that 3rd time, we're going to plant our hands and step back to a high plank. So remember, high plank can be here on your knees, which is fantastic. They don't have to be here, they can be here. What I want you to be able to do here is comfortably breathe. This is really strengthening your core. What's your core, whenever I say that, is the front side and the back side. All right, from where you are, let's go ahead and come all the way down to our tummy. We're gonna come into a cobra pose. So fingers might be in line with your shoulders or back in line with your chest. Legs are nice and long. On an inhale or exhale, please come up. Maybe there's some weight in your hands, maybe no weight in your hands. Keep the back of your neck long. You should be able to maintain this posture and breathe deeply. If that's not working for you today, relax out of the posture. Take 1 more deep breath. Please go ahead, lower all the way down and rest. So again, as you're resting, it's hard for me to talk in this posture and, rest my head down. If your head's to one side, please go ahead and turn it to the other side. How is your breath? That's the question that should be asked over and over and over again. How are you breathing? Before we move to the other side, please take 1 more deep breath. And then, your choice how you get back to down dog. I personally like to pass through hands and knees and then bring my hips back and up. Let's meet in down dog. Take a deep breath. And then you can inhale your left leg high or just step it through to a low lunge. Coming into that open twist. So keeping your left hand down, twist open to the right. Again, maybe you roll out your wrist, move it around a little bit. Touch your right hand down, close twist to the left. Same thing, you can move your wrist, you don't have to. Let's touch our left hand down. Go ahead and ease your right knee down, please, and slide your hips back. So again, maybe some movement with that front foot. Point your toes, flex, turn in, turn out. You've got, nice hamstrings on the back of your front leg, right? And so each time you move your foot, you might feel that stretch a little bit differently. Let's come back to our low lunge. So your back knee can certainly stay down, or you can lift it up. Take an inhale, press your heart forward. Exhale, straighten over your front leg and bow. And do that 2 more times. So we inhale, we exhale to straighten and bow, and gently press your back heel towards your mat. It might never touch down. 1 more time. Okay, from here, hands plant down, stepping into our high plank. Remember, high plank can be right here. I'm going to ask you to lower all the way down to your tummy again. Coming into potentially a locust pose. So arms might be out wide, they might be back behind you, or interlaced at your low back. So slowly on an inhale or exhale, coming up. Lifting our arms, our chest, our legs. We're just going for opening our heart space, squeezing the shoulder blades, a little back bend here. Take another deep, deep breath. Lower all the way down, let your arms rest. Again, they might rest down by your sides. Whatever is comfortable for your neck. Rotate your head to the other side if your neck was rotated to one side. All right, slowly coming up. Take a moment back in child's pose if you would like. All right, let's meet in hero's pose. And so hero's pose is this, hips to heels. Or again, if that's just too much compression on the knee joints, you can always tuck a blanket or a bolster behind you if that's more comfortable. So again, we really want to move our spine. It's so vitally important for us to move our spine. So let's touch our right hand down. Once again, sweeping your left arm up and over. Side stretching, opening through that rib cage. That right arm, maybe you move it a little bit. Maybe you move your upper wrist. Now I want you to come into a little bit of a back bend, so taking your top arm and reach it back. Lift your heart up. If just does not feel good on your spine, shorten this lever, taking your hand into your shoulder or to your heart. Let's bow forward. So we're going to take that top arm and thread it underneath and bow forward. We're going to sweep our left arm back behind us again, coming into that back bend. And then a side stretch again to the right as we began. Let's move this to the other side. Left hand comes down, sweep up and over, please. Again, opening up through the side of our rib cage. I can't even tell you how important that is. Working through those intercostal muscles that often get kind of sticky and stuck in between the rib cage. Take that top arm, reach it back. More importantly, lift your heart up towards the ceiling. Once again, you can shorten that lever if this just kind of feels yucky on your spine, reaching back. Let's bow forward, taking that top arm and thread it under. Sweep back, slow. This is a lot of movement for your spine, really great. Side stretch back to the left. Maybe take that top shoulder and roll it back a little bit. I kind of noticed I was slouching in, so roll it back. And let's meet in a hero's pose. So we're going to settle into just a couple of yin postures, but before we do, another little breath technique. Hands come into our heart center. Robin's egg breath is what this is called. Inhale, so as we inhale, we want to feel our thumbs press into our heart center. Maybe lift that heart space up. So inhale. As we exhale, our hands press forward and we round in. Drop your chin towards your chest. And like wings, on an inhale, you're going to open up and expand. Lift your heart space up. On an exhale, we're going to round, curl back in. Hands come back together. And on your inhale, right back to heart center. And again, exhale as we press forward. Inhale as we expand, open. Exhale as we round in. Inhale, neutral spine, hands back to heart. Let's do that one more time. So follow your exhale, curl in, compress. When you're ready, take that expansion, open up. Rounding in on the exhale. Hands to your heart on an inhale. Pause here. Again, maybe eyes are closed or heavy. Shoulders down. Shoulders kind of ease back just a little, not aggressively, but we want to broaden through our collarbones. All right, so let's settle into a forward fold. Now, I always find forward folds are somewhat tricky, and those of you who know me know that I will always offer a variation. So, forward fold might be like this. Legs out in front of you, about hip width distance apart. It's so important in any forward fold that perhaps you're sitting on the edge of a towel or a blanket, so you can scoot those sits bones back. We want our hips to go forward with us and not doing this jobby and then we're trying to reach forward, right? It kind of doesn't even look good. So the reason being is we don't want to slouch, because this is really stressing the muscles along our spine. So take those sits bones back. Some of us might use a bolster, or you can roll up a blanket in your midsection to just round forward, like so. Some of us in this forward fold might use a block or two even to rest our head on. Okay, so I am going to do a quick demonstration, and then we've got 3 minutes in this posture. Really the only standing yin posture is called dangling pose. So your feet come away from the wall so your tush can rest on a wall, and maybe it's a block or two as you come into your forward fold. Relax your knees, relax your head. Your hands might be resting on a block, and you're relaxing into this posture. Now, if you are choosing this standing posture, it can be rather intense. So when you're done, you want to slowly slide down that wall, come into a squat, or come out onto your hands and knees. If you are coming into that dangling posture, please do not stand directly back up. You want to slide down the wall or gently come out onto your hands and knees. So we're trying to open up the entire back body. You've got 3 minutes. If you have already started this posture, I'm going to talk us through it. I'm not going to do it. So, and some of you know the snail posture, which is plow pose, bringing your legs up and over your head. I'm not going to demonstrate that for the sake of time. So, if you're already in the posture, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think of opening up the lines of energy along the entire back body. Nothing should become too intense, and only you know, right? So again, you've been in this posture, according to my timer, just about 45 seconds. Whenever something comes like, ooh, that's a little too much for me, then you know you're done. You are your own best guide. And as my wonderful teacher said so succinctly, a posture is either effective, do I feel that opening on the back body? And also, let us not forget that a compression on the front side, is it ineffective? Do I not feel it at all? Then maybe we need to find another option for you. Or is it injurious? Is it something that's moving towards, yep, this doesn't feel quite right? If that is the case for you, that is when you need to back off the posture. Because here, we're maybe stretching calf muscles, hamstrings, up through the low back. Maybe it's traveling up your entire spine if you're bowing forward. You still have a little bit longer in this posture. So, as you settle in, if you are settling in, if you've backed out of it, cool. Just do your thing and breathe. If you're still in the posture, notice where you're feeling it. We don't want to feel it directly behind the knees or directly right up at the sits bones. That's not where we want to feel the posture primarily. You can feel a tug there, a pull there, but we don't want to, we want to feel it more in the belly of the muscle. So, a couple more deep breaths. And then many of you have heard me talk before about the spine, what a super cool, awesome structure it is, but it's a heavy structure. So, few more deep breaths. Again, if you're in the posture, few more deep breaths. If you've come out of the posture, still, few more deep breaths. That's the most important part of the practice. So what I want you to do here is take one more deep breath. If you're seated and you're folding forward, I want you to use your hands and slowly, slowly walk your spine back upright. If you were in that standing pose against the wall, you should be slowly, slowly sliding down the wall, coming out into your hands and knees, and not standing directly back up, please. So I want to take a moment. You can just relax where you are, whether you're resting back on your hands or you're against the wall, whatever it is. Just relax and feel. Okay, so getting into those super fantastic hip flexors, amongst other things, I am going to give two demonstrations. So, some of you do know half saddle pose. If that's your posture, please go ahead and take it. Otherwise, we're going to come into a lunge. We're going to touch our right knee down and bring our left leg forward. This is where I like to use blocks. This is a nice, beautiful lunge posture or dragon posture. So, if, however, this is just not your cup of tea, now we're stretching into those right hip flexors and into the quadriceps as well. So, if that one is not your cup of tea, you're going to take, move my blanket, lay down, a block at whatever level is best for you. This is a little too high for me, so I'm going to just put it at that medium level, right at my sacrum, and extend my right leg long. Same type of idea of a posture, and you can always hug your left knee into your chest because we will be switching sides. So again, I'm not going to be in the posture at the moment. I am going to be timing it. So, because I want to give you a couple different options here. So again, if you're in that lunge position, using a blanket to cushion your knee. Right leg back, left leg forward. Now, you might have blocks up high, which is great. You might have the blocks on the inside of your left foot. Also cool. I personally feel this posture can get really intense really quickly. So, at any time you're like, okay, that's enough for now, and just use your hands and slowly press your hips back. Take yourself out of the stretch for a moment. You can always sink back in. You got plenty of time here. Same thing if you're on your back. If you have the block at that, say, medium level, and you're like, okay, that's become a little too much, then bring it to the lower level. Totally awesome. Because I know not everybody likes that downward force of your hips and your spine, or the downward force on that right knee. Which brings me to the fact that if you're in the lunge, kind of think more towards the top of your right kneecap. So maybe you're kind of dragging yourself forward just a little bit, and that just takes some of that pressure off of your right knee. Now, many of you know, you have gotten about a minute and a half here. So many of you know, you can, of course, lower the level of your blocks bit by bit, right? If you're not using blocks, maybe your hands are on your mat or the floor, or you're slowly coming down into your forearms. I can tell you right now today, being on my forearms is not happening. So, but you can always walk that front foot out to the side. You can roll to the outer edge of that front foot. Curl the back toes under or flat. You can gently, slowly come into a twist if you would like. I would like to say, you've got a little less than a minute here. At some point in time, you do want to find some stillness and just breathe, 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 breathe. You can let your head relax down. If you're on your back, you can roll your neck side to side. You really want to be feeling it in the hip flexors and not feeling something that's just not comfortable in any other place in your body. All right, now, here's the thing. Before we switch sides, it's so important to let yourself have that pause. So if you're in a lunge, I'm going to suggest that you use your hands to, as slow as you possibly can, push your hips back. Slow, slow, slow. You can come into a counter posture of bowing over your front leg. If you're on your back, maybe you take a moment to send both of your legs up towards the ceiling, which is awesome. Or just bend your knees, plant your feet, and come into a supported bridge pose. So, a couple more deep breaths. You just relax and feel without doing anything. And then, as if you had to move through honey or something like that, take it really slow, slow motion movement to switch sides. bringing your right foot forward, left leg back, or if you're on your back, you're extending your left leg long. So again, I'm setting the timer for 3 minutes. So for those of you that are on your back, whatever height the block is best for you, because you want those hips to feel stable. Left leg might be extended long, and here maybe you stay. Maybe you swing that left leg out to the side a little bit. You can hug your right knee into your chest. Relax your head. And again too, if you're on your back, like soften your shoulder blades down. Remember, your hip flexors are so cool. They're such an amazing muscle group, literally attaching the top half of your body to the lower half of your body. And so nothing, remember again, it's that beautifully said, the posture is effective, I feel it in the target area, it's ineffective, not feeling it at all, or it's injurious and it's becoming too much. And only you know what you are feeling. So, again, hip flexors are often, they get all jammed up, right? We sit a lot, maybe we're stagnant, even in a standing position we get stagnant and those muscles get stagnant. So where can you soften just a wee bit more? You still got plenty of time here, about another minute 15. So, can you soften the muscles of your face? Can you put a light little smile on your face? Can you relax through your fingers and relax your toes? And take just some deep, long breaths. Again, as we're settling into some of these yin postures, lengthen out your exhalation. Think inhale, belly, rib cage, chest. Long exhale, belly, rib cage, chest. For about a little over 30 seconds. All right, so please take one more deep breath. And then again, if you're in that lunge position, as slow as you can, slide your hips back. If you're on your back, you might want to just take a moment, plant your feet, come into a supported bridge. Or one of my faves is just extending your legs up towards the ceiling for a moment. In fact, that's where we're all going to meet anyway. So please just allow yourself time to be still. And then as you are ready, there is no rush here. I would like you to eventually make your way onto your back. Grab a block. If you don't have a block at home, grab, like a couple of books or something like that. You can certainly grab, a blanket and kind of square it up, or a towel or something like that. A yoga block is kind of, to me, one of the best things to have because of how firm it is. So I want you to plant your feet. So before we do this, just a couple more things here. Your choice. Plant your feet about hip width distance apart. You can either slowly come up into a more active bridge pose, interlacing your hands at your low back, tucking your shoulder blades under. Some people like to extend their arms over their head. If you're more of a fan right now of supported bridge, I prefer the lowest level, but some people like that medium level. Some people even like the high, and that's totally fine. Where you feel is comfortable, that you can be in your either active bridge pose or supported bridge pose. And take a few deep breaths in your back bend of choice. Again, where can you relax? Fingers, toes, tongue, jaw. soften somewhere. Even if you're in that active bridge pose, right? You can relax your toes. You can soften your jaw. One more nice deep breath. Let's slowly lower down from your block, or lower your spine all the way down to the floor. Now I want you to take a moment. So a nice little release for your low back. Either feet apart, knees together. That feels great on my low back, but if you're happier with feet together, knees apart, this to me, regardless of your legs, whichever one feels better on your spine and on your hips, place one hand on your tummy and one hand on your heart. Again, think. Inhale, belly, ribcage, chest. Exhale, belly, ribcage, chest. All right, take a moment, hug your knees into your chest. Maybe it's one at a time. Take these really slow motion movements, right? You might circle your low back, maybe rock side to side. And let's take this into a twist. So your legs can be however you want them to be. Let your arms come out. I'm going to demonstrate the twisted root, crossing my left leg over my right. Hips go left, legs go right. Want to keep our shoulders relaxed, our chest relaxed. This is like, today for me, so I'm going to uncross my legs. For some of us, that might even mean putting a block or a blanket in between our knees, which is kind of awesome, because we want to rest our shoulder blades down. Again, where can you just relax? Let's take one more deep breath. Very slowly, take it center first. So, coming back onto your back, pause. No big movements, right? Some of us really want to hug our knees into our chest, so take it slow, one knee at a time. If you want to come into that happy baby pose, grasping the soles of your feet, that's cool. Whichever one you want. All right, let's take it on over to the other side. So either choosing to cross right leg over, hips go slightly right, legs go to the left. Today again for me, I'm gonna put a block in between my knees so I can relax my shoulders. Because in this posture, if for example, your legs are to the left and your right shoulder is lifted and your right arm's kind of floating, that's a lot for your spine to carry. So we want to just be able to settle through our chest. Take another deep breath. Again, slow, 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 come onto your back. So I'm just gonna make a suggestion. It's your practice, right? I'm gonna suggest that you extend your legs long. Take your arms over your head. So good for your neck. What I like you to do is inhale, relax your entire body, but firmly press the back of your head into the floor or to your mat. Exhale and stretch like you're being gently stretched apart. Do that 2 more times. Again, just inhale, relax, firmly, firmly press the back of your head. Exhale, stretch. This is really nice for helping to restore some of that curvature to our cervical spine. All right, so if there are, by chance, any last minute movements you wish to make, please do so now. We're gonna settle in to a Shavasana. So I'm just gonna kind of dim the lights here a little bit. I know it's gonna get a little dark, but I just wanna kind of give that effect of Shavasana, just for a couple of minutes. So, or maybe a little bit more than a couple minutes. So, when you relax in your Shavasana, really try to relax. A beautiful student of mine will often remind me that it's so cool to just like tense up everything in your body and then let it go. Take up some room, right? Let your legs just come apart, let your arms float away from your sides, and just relax. Take a nice deep breath. Try and keep the visual out. Allow your eyes to remain closed as you start to add some movement. Fingers, toes, gently rolling wrists, ankles. However you choose to come up to a seated position, or today perhaps you wish to end your practice still lying down, completely fine. I want you to take moments as you do decide to shift or move or remain on your back to really appreciate your breath. Appreciate all of the things that you can do, the things that you are capable of. And if you are slowly rolling to your side and pressing up to a seated position, take your time. It's always my hope, first and foremost, that you are more comfortable in your spine. It is the center, it is our communication hub, it is the altar of our practice. So let us try to remember that as we shift and move our bodies, we are freeing up energy, right? We're trying to move stuckness that often happens right throughout our day, and maybe even especially right now. So I just hope that you feel a little bit more comfortable in this physical being. And as you draw your hands into your heart center, it's so unbelievably important for us to relax inside. Give your diaphragm more room to move, and if we're all tight and tense, that's not possible, right? So this needs to be done at your pace, but I certainly will cue us through it. Remember, move at the pace of your breath. Take an open mouth exhale, let it all go. Maybe even suspend it out for a moment. Take a deep breath in. Suspend it in for a moment. Let it go. Suspend it out. Again, when you're ready, deep breath in. Suspend. Let it go. Suspend. One more deep breath in. Let it go when you're ready. So, eyes remain closed or heavy. Hands can stay at your heart center, and maybe press your thumbs into your heart center, or if you wish, draw your thumbs up to your third eye. In honor of your practice, maybe give yourself a little bow of gratitude. Perhaps if you practice with someone, or if we ended up sharing this time together and we didn't even know we were sharing some of this time together, please send that thank you out to those around you. Send love and health out to everyone. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice this afternoon. Namaste.